You know, people hate contests because a lot of people say that's not what skateboarding is. You can't judge it, it's art. I totally agree with that. I see this as a chance to really share the culture of skateboarding to a much broader audience. Skateboarding at its heart is it's an art. It's invention and innovation, and it's culture and music and art and photography. But now we have this platform where we can actually share a lot of those things that make skateboarding special with the world, and that it will hopefully spark a whole new generation of kids to get involved. To give more people that opportunity is what's really exciting to me. My name's Josh Friedberg. I'm the CEO of USA Skateboarding. I'm responsible for the day-to-day business of USA Skateboarding, which is the national governing body for skateboarding in the United States. I started skateboarding in 1985 in Topeka, Kansas. Ended up getting sponsored by New Deal, edited a couple videos, and then Steve and I came up with the idea for 411 Video Magazine. Got to meet a ton of amazing people, and eventually led to me being the executive director of the International Association of Skateboard Companies. While I was doing that, I met Gary Ream, who was the founder of USA Skateboarding and the International Skateboarding Federation. And then eventually working for Street League Foundation, I developed a wide range of experience that put me in kind of a unique position, I think, to help shepherd skateboarding through this process of taking a culture-based sport and trying to figure out the right way to integrate it into the Olympic world. So if you want to qualify for the Olympic Games, right now you have to enter World Skate sanctioned events that will give you points towards Olympic qualifying. World Skate is the international federation that governs skateboarding for the Olympics. They sanction certain events at different point levels for skaters to participate in and earn points. Skateboarding has what's called a nominal qualification, so the skaters actually qualify based on their own merit as opposed to countries selecting an Olympic team. That's one of the things that causes a lot of the confusion in this situation, is that USA Skateboarding or CBSK in Brazil or whoever can name a national team, but those people aren't necessarily going to the Olympics unless they qualify by earning points in the system. So the national team in the United States, we're able to support skateboarders through our program as a national governing body to help them in their path to qualifying towards the Olympic Games, and that's why we name a national team. You can earn points at national championships, continental championships, five-star events, pro tour events, or world championships. The first qualifying season was from January to September 30th of 2019. The second qualifying season is from October 1st, 2019 to May 31st of 2020. They took the 2 best points results from the skaters. The second season, they'll take the 5 best points results. They'll add those 2 things together, and that'll create the Olympic World Skateboarding Rankings, and that'll be the list that they go through and apply the quotas to determine who's eligible to compete in the Olympic Games. The quotas are set up so that no more than 3 people from any one country in any event can compete. So the US and Brazil and Japan are very strong in skateboarding. If they only took the top 10, you would probably only have 3 countries competing for the most part in some of the events. And based on the simulations that we put together, there'll be probably between 10 and 12 countries in each event at the Olympic Games. When they apply the quota system, it's 3 per country, but there's a max of 20 skaters in any event. Within that, you have to make sure that all 5 of the continental regions are represented. So if there's someone in 20th place, but Africa, for example, doesn't have a continental representative in the rankings yet, the person in 20th place would get bumped, and you'd take the highest ranked African skateboarder to make sure that that continental quota is filled as well. The only major variable to the points part of qualifying for the Olympic Games is that the World Championship events in 2020 are direct qualifiers for the Olympic Games. So if you get on the podium at the World Championships in any event, you get to skate in the Olympics regardless of how many points you have. The International Federation set it up that way because people get hurt, and some of the best skaters in the world might not have an opportunity to get the points during the season, but they might be back in shape for the World Championship, and that gives them a chance to be in the Olympic Games. The reason that the system's set up the way it is it's supposed to be open and accessible for any skateboarder that wants to participate. For the most part, as you've seen, the contests have had more skaters in them than they ever had before, and the direct result of that has been an incredible amount of progression already in what we're seeing happen in competitions, especially on the women's side. The rate of progression in women's skateboarding in the last 6 months has been unlike anything I've ever seen. That's only going to continue to increase across everyone. The format for the street events is what you've seen at the Street League events. It's 2 runs, 5 best trick attempts, and 4 of those total scores count. The format for park is 3 45-second runs, best run counts. So qualifying events that we know of at this point are Do Tour will be, I believe, 5-star points for park and street. Street League will be Pro Tour points for street. Street League World Championships in London will be the World Championship event in May. There'll be a World Championship for park in China in May as well. By the middle of June in 2020, we should know exactly who's going to Tokyo. It's been an interesting challenge, again, to try and integrate a culture-based sport into this Olympic movement. In terms of making the first opportunity to present skateboarding this way, something that's valuable for skateboarding and not just the Olympic Games, I'm really excited with where we're at. It's going to look like skateboarding. It's going to be a great way to showcase that skateboarding is actually an elite level athletic endeavor, as well as everything else that comes from the culture. It really has started to show some pride in where you're from in a different way than I've noticed. The unique part about that, and one of the things that makes skateboarding special, is it's still everyone cheering for skateboarding, period. Because when you skate, you know how hard it is to do certain things, and you can't help but get hyped when you see people doing amazing things on a skateboard. So as much as there is some like new national pride involved, it's still just skateboarding. That to me is the end point of all this. Everyone's like, oh, the Olympics are gonna screw up, it's gonna change. I'm like, skateboarding is gonna change the Olympics. It's not the other way around. When you watch something that's advancing and giving more people a chance to do something you love, the idea that you would be against that is a little strange to me, but hey. To each their own. That's the good part.